ଏବେ ଅଛି ନା ସାଉଣ୍ଡ କ୍ଲିୟର ଅଛି sir?
Yes.
Sir, okay. Sir, network disconnect ହେଲା, I'm sorry.
तो सी किछ रेट
ଦେଇଛି parliamentary government ର feature, okay? Simply ଯେମିତି ଦିଆଯାଇଥିଲା ଏଠି presidential ର ମାନେ ଦେଇଥିଲା ନା federal ଆଉ unit ର ସେମିତି କିଛି parliamentary feature ର ଦେଇଛି, ଏଇଟା ଆମେ ଆଗକୁ ପଢିବା ହେଲା। parliamentary government federal government କହିକି ଗୋଟେ chapter ଅଛି, ସେତେବେଳେ ପଢିବା ତାକୁ ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ଆମେ detail ରେ ପଢିବା। just ତମେ ଏତିକି ଜାଣ କି Indian Parliament, okay, there is a fundamental difference between the parliamentary form of government in Britain, okay, and the parliamentary form of government in India, okay। এই জিনিসটা মনে রাখো, এখন তুমি মেন্স রে ইউজ কৰি পাৰিব, okay, just like সেটা আমি পঢ়লে না কি গোটে হচ্ছে রিটার্ন গোটে হচ্ছে অন রিটার্ন, সেমিতি there is a difference between the parliamentary form of government in Britain and in India, okay। India रे कोन कि parliament is not a sovereign body, sovereign माने independent, okay, nobody is above you, so you are sovereign,
means amar jemti ame कहउछन हमर कंट्री इंडिया इज ए सोवरेन,
okay, means amar jemti ame कहउछन हमर कंट्री इंडिया
ame कार अंडर रे नाहंदी। सेमि देखिले इंडियन पार्लियामेंट इज नॉट ए सोवरेन बॉडी लाइक ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट, ओके। ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट होची कोन सोवरेन, से माने जहा चाहिबे से डिसीजन नै परिबे। पार्लियामेंट इज नॉट सोवरेन, हमर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज सोवरेन, ओके। एवरीथिंग इज रिटन इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कि पार्लियामेंट कोन करि परिबो, जुडिशियरी कोन करि परिबो,
everything is written in the constitution कि parliament कोन करि परिबो,
सेथमे हमर पार्लियामेंट इज नॉट ए सोवरेन बॉडी, ओके।
जुडिशियरी कोन करि परिबो,
पार्लियामेंट इज ए सोवरेन बॉडी, एडा
होची डिफरेंस मन रखिबो, ओके।
एंड आउट होची कोन,
and out होची कोन, India has a elected head, okay,
रिपब्लिक, बिकॉज़ ऑफ दिस
jago ଆମେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି republic, because of this feature we are called as republic, but Britain is a monarchy, okay, it is king या queen rule करନ୍ତି, it is hereditary, okay, it is not, they are not elected,
called as monarchy, okay। हमर कोन कहउछन हमें रिपब्लिक, ओके। एडो
मन रखिबो।
नेक्स्ट इज ओके आउ प्राइम मिनिस्टरियल
जो हमर जो अछि ना हमर जो पार्लियामेंट अछि ताको हम प्राइम मिनिस्टरी गवर्नमेंट को कैबिनेट फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट भी ना, एक वर्ड देखियो लिखा हैला,
इट
इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज
कैबिनेट
गवर्नमेंट, ओके, और रिस्पांसिबल गवर्नमेंट, ओके,
और वेस्ट मिनिस्टर स्टाइल गवर्नमेंट,
ओके।
और ये जो लिखा है
देखियो प्राइम मिनिस्टरियल गवर्नमेंट, जेमिति हम सेटा को प्रेसिडेंशियल गवर्नमेंट कहउछन्दी अमेरिका को, तमे हमर पार्लियामेंटरियल गवर्नमेंट को तमे प्राइम मिनिस्टरियल गवर्नमेंट भी कह परिबो,
ओके। सो
ए ना उडा भी मन रखियो हैला, बेले ना उडा पछरे। सिक्स्थ फीचर होची कोन हमर सिंथेसिस ऑफ पार्लियामेंटरी सॉवरेनिटी एंड जुडिशियल सुप्रीमेसी, ओके। हमें जस्ट ऊपर कोन पढले हमर पार्लियामेंट इज नॉट सोवरेन, okay, episode कोन थिला पार्लियामेंट फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट बट पार्लियामेंट इज नॉट सोवरेन बॉडी,
ओके।
बिकॉज़ तापर अछि हमर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, हमर होची कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज सोवरेन, ओके। एट कोन पूछि देखो fundamental differences, Indian parliament is not a sovereign body like British parliament, dam पढिले एक सेकंड गोच, we have parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy, means what, we are parliament sovereign to an extent, okay, parliament is not completely sovereign just like what British parliament, but our parliamentary is also sovereign to an extent, but we have judicial supremacy, for example तमे लिखियोडा सेडिया लिखा है डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ सोवरेनिटी ऑफ पार्लियामेंट, ओके, which हमर ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट रो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ जुडिशियल सुप्रीमेसी which हमर अमेरिकन सुप्रीम कोर्ट जोटा के एग्जांपल, we have mixed both, okay, this parliamentary sovereignty with judicial supremacy जोड़ा को हम एडॉप्ट करछन इंडिया, जुडिशियल सुप्रीमेसी तारो अमेरिकन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। हमर कोन एग्जांपल जहां लिखा है तुम पढियो मु देखौ तुमको देखो, जेमति कि हमर एनजेसी एक्ट हैला, याकू के बनेला पार्लियामेंट 99 कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट जोड़ा हैला, जानजो तमे एनजेसी एक्ट जागु की सुप्रीम कोर्ट null and void only declare करला, दिस मींस व्हाट, Parliament is sovereign to an extent to formulate certain laws or any kind of laws for that matter. Okay, but judiciary supremacy in the terms that judiciary can declare that what act or that legislature as invalid or as null. Okay, that's why judiciary is supremacy. Okay, supreme because ଯଦି
କିଛି ବି ଗୋଟେ legislation parliament ବନଉଛି
ତାକୁ null and
void declare କରିବାର power supreme court ପାଖରେ ଅଛି. If those act or those legislations are not in line with the constitutional provisions, the judiciary can
act or
that particular act or that particular legislation as invalid, ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ null and void ବୋଲି କହୁଛନ୍ତି judicial language ରେ.
judiciary
That is why
କହୁଛନ୍ତି judicial language
our
ରେ.
parliament is
That is why
sovereign,
our parliament is sovereign
judiciary is supreme.
but our judiciary is supreme.
Okay.
Okay,
But in Britain,
but
parliament is
in
completely
Britain
sovereign.
parliament is completely sovereign and in America judiciary is completely supreme. Okay, ଆମେ ଦିଟାକୁ balance କରି ରଖିଛନ୍ତି. Okay,
So
so Indian parliamentary system differs from the British system in the scope of judicial review power of the Supreme Court. Okay, in India is narrower than that of the ମାନେ Britain ରେ there is no judicial review.
ଯାହା କହିବ ସେଟା final. Okay. US ରେ there is a very broad judicial review. Everything can be changed.
Very broad judicial review. Everything can be changed by judiciary. But in India, ଆମର जो judicial review ଅଛି ସେଟା US ର judicial review ଠୁ
କଣ ହଉଛି ଏବେ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀରେ
because
କେସ୍
ଦେଖ କଣ ହଉଛି ଏବେ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀରେ ଯୋଉ କେସ୍ ହେଲା ଦିଲ୍ଲୀରେ ଯୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟ ଅଛି NCT ଆକ୍ଟ ଦିଲ୍ଲୀ ତାକୁ କଣ କରାହେଲା ଏବେ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ତାକୁ ଆମେଣ୍ଡ କଲା ନା ସୁପ୍ରିମ କୋର୍ଟ ତାକୁ ଡିକ୍ଲେୟାର କଲା କି ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ନଲ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଭଏଡ୍ ପୁଣି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ତାକୁ ଅର୍ଡିନାନ୍ସ ଥ୍ରୋରେ ଆଣିଦେଲା ଓକେ recently this is the case in Delhi okay that is why our judicial review is
narrower than American
judicial review. American constitution provides for and the other difference is American constitution कौन provide करुछि due process of law. Indian constitution कौन follow करुछि procedure established by law. We will see what is the due process of law ଆଉ what is procedure established by law. ଦିଟା ତମେ ଦେଖିଲେ ଜାଣିବ ଯେ ଆମର जो judicial review ଅଛି ସେଟା କଣ ପାଇଁ narrower than American constitution.
What is
due process of law? Okay.
Due process
of law माने what is procedure established by law? First देखो procedure established by law माने okay the decisions of the executive will be tested by the courts with the touchstone of the fairness but procedure established by law माने गोटे law बना पे गोटे procedure है से procedure अनुसार से particular law बनाई छि ना नहीं माने किछि पार्लियामेंट ताकि किछि वायलेट कराई छि जो एग्जैक्ट प्रोसीजर रे जो लॉ बनया कथा धरो गोटे फाइनेंस रिलेटेड लॉ बनाला माने जोडा को हम कहछने मनी बिल सेटा जदी धरो सुप्रीम कोर्ट रे के चैलेंज करला सुप्रीम कोर्ट देखिबो जे जो बिल ता माने कोन कोन कंडीशन गोटे बिल रहले सेटा मनी बिल हबो हला माने फॉर एग्जांपल हम कहछंती मनी बिल हला हला मनी बिल पाई सेटा प्रोविजन अछि गोटे बिल रे ए जिंस रहले सेटा को हम मनी बिल बोली कहबो जदी थरा किछि गोटे जिंस पार्लियामेंट मनी बिल थ्रो गोटे बिल आनि छै और पास कर दै छै जोडे कि होछि बहुत टाइम रे तुम देखियो धरो जने कियण जाई त सुप्रीम कोर्ट चैलेंज कला सुप्रीम कोर्ट कोन देखियो जो प्रोविजन थिले बिल टाको मनी कथा में से प्रोविजन बिल अछि ना नहीं जदी नाही ताले सुप्रीम कोर्ट डिक्लेयर करबो जे एटा मनी बिल नाही जुडिशियल रिव्यू अनुसार ओके फॉर एग्जांपल जदी अछि तुम बुझा पे जदी अछि ताले से केमिति भी पास हेताओ सेतरे किछि मोरल माने इश्यू थाउ किछि थाउ सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज नो राइट ओके दैट इज माने जो प्रोसीजर एस्टैब्लिश्ड बाय लॉ माने जो प्रोसीजर रे गोटे जिंस होबा कथा ओनली थिंग सुप्रीम कोर्ट विल चेक सेटा जोडा कि हम इंडिया रे करछन यूएस रे कोन होछि US follows due process of law माने the courts will examine the fairness not only the decisions of the executive but also that of the law passed by the legislature okay एटी कोन हबो executive रो decision को टेस्ट कराला procedure established by law रे due process of law रे कोन हबो executive रो decision as well as legislature रो decision okay
माने जो प्रोसीजर रे लॉ बनाई छी वेदर से प्रोसीजर टा ठीक अछि ना नहीं, जो इंटेंशन रे लॉ बनाई छी से इंटेंशन टा ठीक अछि ना नहीं. ओके, both will be checked. That is why it is called as due
either
process of law,
both
जोटा कि अमेरिका रे फॉलो होची.
এটা ঠিক ଅଛି ନା
That
ନାହିଁ
is why
जो
ଆମର
इंटेंस
ଯୋଉ ଅଛି
ରହୁଛି ଓକେ दैट इज
କଣ
व्हाई
ହେଲା
ଆମର जो
कि the
ଅଛି
judicial
ଏଠି କଣ ଲେଖା
review
ହେଲା
that is followed in
कि द
India is
जुडिशियल रिव्यू
narrower
दैट
than
इज
that
फॉलोड
of
इन
the
इंडिया
US.
इज
US
नारोअर
ରେ
देन
ସେମାନେ
दैट ऑफ
check
द
କରିବେ
यूएस.
ଯେ
यूएस
procedure
ରେ
ଟା
ସେମାନେ
ଠିକ ଅଛି
ଚେक
ନା
କରିବେ
ନାହିଁ,
जे प्रोसीजर भी ठीक ଅଛି
intention
ନା
ବି
ନାହିଁ
ଠିକ ଅଛି ନା
ଆଉ
ନାହିଁ.
इंटेंशन भी ठीक
India
ଅଛି
ରେ
ନା
କେବଳ
ନାହିଁ.
check ହବ
इंडिया रे
only
केवल
procedure
चेक
ଠିକ
हबो
ଅଛି ନା ନାହିଁ.
ओनली
Okay,
प्रोसीजर ठीक अछि ना.
that is the
ओके
difference.
दैट इज द डिफरेंस.
ଆଉ ବାକି ତମ
अब
ବୁଝିଲ
बाकी तुम
parliamentary
बुझिलो
sovereignty
पार्लियामेंट्री
with
सोवरेनिटी
judicial
विथ
supremacy.
जुडिशियल
Okay,
सुप्रीमेसी. ओके
judiciary
judiciary can
can declare
declare
any
any
law
law
made by the
made by the
parliament as
parliament
null and
as
void.
null and void.
That is why it
That
is
is why it
supreme.
is
It will
supreme.
look
It will look
whether the
whether the
constitutional
constitutional
provisions are
provisions
followed or
are
not,
followed or not,
whether
whether any kind of fundamental rights are breached.
okay, କିଛି
Okay,
ବି ଯଦି
କିଛି
ଭୁଲଭାଲ
ବି ଯଦି
ହେଇଛି
ଭୁଲଭାଲ ହେଇଛି
ମାନେ judiciary ହାତରେ power
constitution
ଅଛି କି
ମାନେ
ସେଟାକୁ
judiciary
declare
ହାତରେ
କରିଦେବ
power
null
ଅଛି
and
କି
void.
ସେଟାକୁ
That's
declare
why it
କରିଦେବ
is
null and
supreme.
void. That's why it
But
is supreme.
parliament ରେ ହାତରେ ବି
But
power ଅଛି
parliamentary
ଯେ
ହାତରେ
they
ବି
can
power
make
ଅଛି
any
ଯେ
law
they
or
can
any
make any
legislation.
law or any
Okay,
legislation.
because they are also
Okay,
elected
because
body.
they are
That's
also
why they are
elected body.
to an
That's why they
extent
are
sovereign,
to an extent
but
sovereign,
judiciary is
but
supreme.
judiciary is
The
supreme.
Supreme Court, on the
The
other
Supreme
hand,
Court, on the other hand,
can declare the
can
parliamentary,
declare
ମୁଁ
the
ଯାହା କହିଲି
parliamentary,
ଏଠି
ମୁଁ
ଲେଖା
ଯାହା
ହେଇଛି,
କହିଲି
laws
ଦେଖ
as
ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି, laws
unconstitutional
is
through
unconstitutional
its power of
through
judicial
its
review.
power of judicial
The
review.
parliament, on the
The
other hand,
parliament,
can
on the other
amend the
hand, can
major portion
amend
of
the
the
major
constitution
portion of
through
the
the
constitution
constitution.
through the
Okay,
constitutional power.
so it
Okay,
is a mix
so
of
it is a
both
mix of both
American and
American and
Britain
Britain
parliamentary features.
parliamentary features.
Okay,
Okay,
next.
next.
Next feature is
Next feature is
integrated.
integrated and independent judiciary.
Okay,
Okay,
integrated means
integrated
we
means
have a chain
we
of
have a chain of
judicial
judicial
courts. Okay,
courts.
Supreme
Okay,
Court, ତା ତଳେ
Supreme
ଅଛି
Court,
ଆମର
ତା
High
ତଳେ
Court,
ଅଛି
ତା
ଆମର
ତଳେ
High
ଅଛି
Court,
ଆମର
ତା ତଳେ ଅଛି ଆମର
subordinate courts.
subordinate
Okay,
courts.
and
Okay,
one
and
person
one
can
person can
jump from a
jump
subordinate
from a
courts to high
subordinate
courts
courts
and
to high
appeal,
courts and
and from high court to
appeal,
Supreme Court.
and from high court
Okay,
to
that
Supreme
is why
Court to
it's
appeal. Okay,
integrated
that is
judiciary,
why it's
and
integrated judiciary.
any kind
And
of
any kind of
feature exclusively, there are exclusive cases for Supreme Court, for example center state, okay, and between state and state, those cases you can exclusively go to
and
Supreme
state,
Court, and
those cases you
certain
can exclusively go to
fundamental
Supreme Court.
rights, if they are breached, you can directly go to Supreme Court. But otherwise you can apply, or you can go from one court to another court and to the another court, higher court, in most of the cases. That is why it is integrated. And
That is why it is
judiciary is
integrated.
independent
And
because
judiciary is independent because their appointments,
salary,
okay, their
these things
salary,
are
all these things are
independently
independently
they
they
are
are
making. So
making it.
that's why
So
it is
that's why it is
independent. Same
independent.
thing
Same
here
thing
likes
like
the
the
single
single
system of
system of
courts
courts enforces both
central
central
law
law
as
as
well
well
as
as the
the state
state
law
law
in
in
USA.
USA.
Okay,
Okay,
sorry,
sorry,
the
the
single
single
system of
system
courts
of courts
enforces
enforces both the
law
central
as
law
well as
as
the
well as
state
the
laws,
state laws.
unlike
Unlike
USA,
USA,
where the
where the
federal laws
federal
are
laws are
enforced by
enforced
the
by the
federal
federal
judiciary,
judiciary,
state
state
laws are
laws are
enforced by the
enforced by the
state
state
judiciary.
judiciary.
ବୁଝିପାରିଲେ? US ରେ କଣ ହୁଏ, ଆମର ଦେଖ
यूएस ରେ कौन हुए
state ର ବି
ଆମର
କିଛି
ଦେଖ
law ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା
स्टेट ର
କି
ବି କିଛି
ସୁପ୍ରିମ
law
କୋର୍ଟ କୁ ଆମେ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, ସୁପ୍ରିମ କୋର୍ଟ ତାକୁ ଏନଫୋର୍ସ କରୁଛି, ହେଲ୍ପ କରୁଛି ଏନଫୋର୍ସ କରିବାରେ। ଆମେରିକାରେ ସେମିତି ନୁହଁ, ଷ୍ଟେଟ ର ଲ କୁ ଏନଫୋର୍ସ କରିବ ତାଙ୍କର ଫେଡରାଲ ଯୋଉ କୋର୍ଟ ଅଛି, ସେଣ୍ଟର ର ଲ କୁ ଏନଫୋର୍ସ କରିବ ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲ କୋର୍ଟ ଅଛି। ଓକେ, ତ ତାଙ୍କର ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା, ଷ୍ଟେଟ ଜୁଡିସିଆରୀ ଏନଫୋର୍ସ କରିବ ଷ୍ଟେଟ ଲ କୁ, ଆଉ ଫେଡରାଲ ଜୁଡିସିଆରୀ ଏନଫୋର୍ସ କରିବ ଫେଡରାଲ ଲ କୁ। ବଟ୍ ଆମର ସେମିତି ନାହିଁ, ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ any case you can go to Supreme Court. Okay, you can go to High Court. If you are not satisfied, you can go to Supreme Court. Okay, that is why our courts are integrated.
satisfied you can go to Supreme Court.
Next
Okay,
ଜିନିଷ କଣ,
our courts are
Supreme Court is a federal
integrated.
court,
Next
the
ଜିନିଷ କଣ, the
highest court
Supreme
of
Court is a
appeal,
federal court,
the
the
guarantor of
highest
the
court of
ଏଇ
appeal,
ଜିନିଷଟା ମନେ
the
ରଖ,
guarantor
you
of
have
the
to
ଏଇ
remember
ଜିନିଷ
this.
ଗୁଡା ମନେ ରଖ,
Okay,
you have to remember this.
ଏଇ ଯୋଉ
Okay, ଏଇ
ଟର୍ମ
ଯୋଉ
ଗୁଡା ମନେ ରଖିବ କି
ଟର୍ମ
Supreme
ଗୁଡା
Court
ମନେ
ଏଗୁଡା
ରଖିବ କି
directly
ସୁପ୍ରିମ କୋର୍ଟ
ପଚାରନ୍ତି
ଏଗୁଡା
exam ରେ,
ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି
Supreme
ପଚାରନ୍ତି
courts
ଏକ୍ସାମ
are
ରେ, ସୁପ୍ରିମ
they are the
କୋର୍ଟସ୍ ଆର୍
highest
they
court
are
of
the
appeal.
highest court of appeal.
Supreme Court is the
Supreme Court
guarantor
is
of
the
the
guarantor
fundamental
of the
rights,
fundamental
okay,
rights,
of the
okay,
citizens,
of the
and
citizens
guardian
and
of the
guardian of
constitution.
the constitution.
These terms
These
you have to
terms you have
remember.
to remember.
Supreme Court होची हमर guarantor fundamental rights रो and constitution रो guardian.
Supreme Court होची
Okay, that's
that's
why it ensures there are so many provisions which ensures its
why it
independence,
ensures
like
there are so
security
many
of tenure
provisions
of the
which ensures
judges.
its
Okay,
independence,
କେତେ ବର୍ଷ ରହିବ
like security of
ସେମାନଙ୍କର
tenure of the
tenure,
judges.
that can be changed through special
Okay,
majority.
କେତେ ବର୍ଷ
Okay, you cannot simply, parliament cannot simply change their tenure, okay, their service condition वगैरह वगैरह. That's why it is independent.
So it is independent. Fixed service conditions, okay, their expenses, okay, are all charged from Consulate Fund of India, and the prohibition of discussion on conduct of judges. तांको विषय तमे discuss करि परिबनी legislature रे parliament रे, okay, सेमाने retirement पर practice करि परिबनी, power to punish for its contempt, okay, they can punish the person against whom they have charged, okay, that is called as contempt. So ये सब जिनसा पाए हमें क्वेश्चन जे सुप्रीम कोर्ट इज इंडिपेंडेंट, ओके, सो ये जिनसा अच्छी इंडिपेंडेंस जुडिशियरी. नेक्स्ट इज फंडामेंटल राइट्स. आउट फीचर, सैलेंट फीचर, इंपोर्टेंट फीचर फंडामेंटल राइट्स आपको हम डिटेलली पढ़िया फंडामेंटल राइट्स चैप्टर पढ़ला है. जस्ट ब्रॉडली यू नो देयर आर 6 टाइप्स ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स. इन बिटवीन देयर आर सो मेनी, ओके, इक्वालिटीज फ्रॉम 14 to 18 अब एटा डायरेक्टली भी आसे. थोड़े यूपीएससी रे पचारथिला जो हमर अछि ना अनटचेबिलिटी, ओके, कि वो फंडामेंटल राइट एक कैटेगरी से आछि, ओके, इफ यू नो आर्टिकल 17, ओके, तो तमे मार्क करि परबो इक्वालिटी बिकॉज़ आर्टिकल 17 आर्टिकल 18 एमी देनसला ऑप्शन इज राइट टू इक्वालिटी, राइट टू फ्रीडम, ओके, एंड अदर थिंग्स विल बी देयर. तो तुम जानिया दरकार जे भितरे कोन अछि, बट ब्रॉडली देखो इट इक्वल राइट टू इक्वालिटी आर्टिकल 14 to 18, फ्रीडम 19 to 22, अगेंस्ट एक्सप्लॉइटेशन 23-24, okay, freedom of religion, educational rights and constitutional liberty. एवढा हमें fundamental rights chapter पढ़ला है, डिटेलली पढ़िया विषय रे. I am not explaining this, okay, just कौन आरो general information अछि. Fundamental rights are meant to promote the idea of political democracy. This is important, mark this, आपको underline करो. Fundamental right promote political democracy, okay. What is political democracy? It operates as a limitation on the tyranny of executive and arbitrary laws by the legislature, okay. जदि तमरो fundamental rights न थांदा कोन थांदा, ओके, सेंटर चाहले किछि भी लॉ बनेगी तमरो रेस्ट्रिक्शन करि परिबो, तमरो फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच ऊपर हो, तमरो लिबर्टी ऊपर हो, तमरो इक्वालिटी ऊपर हो, तमरो लिबर्टी ऊपर हो, तमरो इक्वालिटी ऊपर हो, ओके. That is why we have fundamental rights. It is सेथिबे कोची it operates as a limitation, okay. These are very important. एवढा एग्जाम रे आसे, it acts as a limitation on the tyranny of executive. Our ministers, council of ministers, they make the law, na, so they cannot do whatever they want. The law, na, arbitrary laws, so they cannot do whatever they want, and in the state they also cannot make laws to do certain things which are what not allowed by this fundamental rights, okay. जदि नथांता सेमाने किछि भी करिके हमर राइट्स सब, ओके, जदि नथांता सेमाने किछि भी करिके हमर राइट्स सब नै थांदे, माने इक्वालिटी हो, फ्रीडम, ओके. सो ए जो एवडा जो बनाई छी दे रेस्ट्रिक्ट, सो ए जो एवडा जो बनाई छी दे रेस्ट्रिक्ट एक्ट इन ए सर्टेन लिमिटेशन, इन ए सर्टेन बाउंड्री, ओके, and the aggravated person, in a certain boundary, okay, and the aggravated person, if any of your rights is violated, the aggravated person can directly go to the Supreme Court, okay. If your fundamental right is violated, if the question is so ki fundamental right violated, you have concerned subordinate court, no, the aggravated person can directly go, you can also, but you can directly go to Supreme Court also without any appeal, okay. Directly you can go to Supreme Court also, that is through reads, okay. Reads कोना एवढा भी हमें देखिया, इसला fundamental rights chapter पढ़िया. What are those reads, okay, what is called as a read and how many type of reads are there, all we will discuss, okay. Next is fundamental rights are not absolute, okay, and they are subject to reasonable restrictions. Means center can take fundamental rights in certain grounds, your fundamental rights in certain grounds, okay. You have the fundamental right for freedom of expression, doesn't mean you can stand and speak whatever you want, okay. Tomorrow fundamental right speak, I mean freedom of speech अच्छी वाली तमे छिड़ाई किसी भी कोई परिवार, okay. There are certain restrictions, reasonable restrictions, okay. एड़ा भी मन रखो कि fundamental rights are not absolute, they are subject to certain restrictions, and they are not sacrosanct, okay. They can be curtailed or repealed by the parliament, okay. That also can be repealed by the parliament through amendment, constitutional amendment, okay. So they are not sacrosanct. It omada मन रखो. These are important for your prelims, okay. And they can be suspended also during national emergency. सबु गुड़ा fundamental rights suspend हे परिवो except article 20 and 21, okay. Remember this, during national emergency, any of your fundamental right can be suspended except Article 21, 22. Sorry, 20, 21. ए दीटा को छाड़ी की तमर कौन सी fundamental right को suspend करा जाए परिवो during emergency. Okay. Ninth feature is DPSP. Okay. DPSP ର ସବୁଠୁ important କଣ? It is the noble feature of the Indian Constitution. ଏଟାକୁ ମନେ ରଖ, directly word exam ରେ ପଚାରୁଛନ୍ତି. Which one is the noble feature of the Indian Constitution? You have to mark DPSP. Okay? Directive Principle of State Policy. ଏଟା କୋ part ରେ ଅଛି? Part 4. ଆମର fundamental right କୋ part ରେ ଥିଲା? Part 3. Okay? DPSP କୋ part ରେ ଅଛି? Part 4. Okay, जोड़े मन रखियो एमती ही पार्ट मन रखि जीवो. There is no, I mean, घोसले मन रहइबो.
Okay, जो चैप्टर पढो छ सेटा को पार्ट रछि एंड इट इज इन सीक्वेंस. Okay, आ जहां भी हमर फीचर अछि डीपीएसपी रे ताको तीनटा ब्रॉडली तीनटा कैटेगरी डिवाइड कराइ छ. वन इज सोशलिस्टिक, वन इज गांधीयन, वन इज लिबरल इंटेलेक्चुअल. नो नीड टू रिमेंबर, एमती के आसीनी एग्जाम रे, बट इट विल हेल्प यू टू राइट आंसर इन मेन. Okay, just remember कि सोशलिस्टिक, गांधीयन और लिबरल इंटेलेक्चुअल ताको डिवाइड कराइ छ. एति भी फीचर अछि हमर डीपीएसपी रे. Okay, so that it will be easy for you to remember the articles. गांधीयन अंडर कोन कोन अछि तर आर्टिकल. Then DPSP are meant to promote social and economic democracy. देखो डिफरेंस कोन हला. एट लिखा हितला कि फंडामेंटल राइट्स. देखो फंडामेंटल राइट्स आर to promote fundamental rights are to promote political democracy. Okay, DPSP कोन कहूची? These are to promote social and economic democracy. Okay, this is the difference you have to remember. So this is the difference you have to remember. तमरो political democracy promote करूची, fundamental right promote करूची DPSP. Okay, this difference you have to remember. They ask in the exam. Okay, this difference you have to remember. They ask in the exam. Then a question 3-4 थर आसी. You have to remember कि it seeks to establish welfare state in India. Okay, DPSP seeks to establish welfare state in India. India रे welfare state establish करया पई हमर entire constitution ने जदी किछि provision अछि सेउडा DPSP रे अछि. Okay, but unlike fundamental rights, it is non-justiciable in nature. Okay, माने non-justiciable meaning कोन? जदी तमरो fundamental right तमे जाई परियो सुप्रीम कोर्ट. बट तमर जदी डीपीएसपी जने धर डीपीएसपी रे किछि प्रोविजन अछि, धर डीपीएसपी रे किछि प्रोविजन अछि, स्टेट ताकू इंप्लीमेंट को सुप्रीम कोर्ट. You cannot go against it to the supreme court. Okay, that is why it is called as it is non-justiciable in nature. तमे ता अगेंस्ट रे सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाई परियोनी जे ए जिंसडा सेंटर स्टेट अप्लाई करू नांती. Okay, these principles are fundamental in the governance of the country and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. Okay, actually state रो duty is a directive state policy रो माने ही होची ए principle of state अछि जेतेले भी तमे policy बनौछ. For example, equal distribution of wealth is one of the feature of DPSP or one of DPSP. माने तमे जो भी the provision of DPSP माने तमे जो भी बनौछ policy एमिति न होबा दरकार जे wealth distribution दा inequal होची. Okay, ताले so state और center सबले आखि रखिया दरकार आणि जहां भी इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी बनौछु that should promote economic equality. Okay, but if it is not promoting you cannot go and file a case in supreme court. बुझि परछ. So that is why it is not justiciable. Is political. Definitely real force will be political. Okay, if there is a public pressure and if the public pressure is very high, then definitely center will or state will try to implement those features. Okay, so the real force behind the application of the DPSP is political. Okay, माने for example एबे देखो government is now planning to implement हमर जो अछि article 44. कौन article 44? Uniforms will go. Now government is promoting. जो present government भी अछि, हां present government जे अछि से promote अछि UCC कि हमें next time असले हम UCC implement करियो. तांकर इवन जो बनै चंदी कोन द कोन जो पॉलिटी मैनिफेस्टो सेत्र विषय रखि चंदी. Okay, so what the real force to implement
to implement DPSP is UCC DPSP रे अछि the real force is political. If there is a political support, ଆମେ ଯଦି ସେଇ ପାର୍ଟି କୁ ଭୋଟ ଦେଇକି ପାୱାର ରେ ଆଣିଲେ ତାର ତ କଣ ସେ ଯାହା ବି ମ୍ୟାନିଫେଷ୍ଟୋ ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି ତାକୁ ଆମେ ସପୋର୍ଟ କଲେ ହଁ ନା ନାଇଁ ତାର ମିନିଂ ତ ସେୟା ନା ସିଏ ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟାନିଫେଷ୍ଟୋ ନେଇକି ଆସିଲେ ଆମ ଆଗରେ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ କଲେ ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଭୋଟ ଦେଲେ ତାର ତ କଣ ଯାହା ବି ମ୍ୟାନିଫେଷ୍ଟୋ ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି we are supporting it. Okay, that is why it is written that the real force is political, which is a public opinion. Okay. Then a statement of Mundaka, the Indian constitution is found on the bedrock of the balance between fundamental rights and DPSP. Okay. It was told by the Supreme Court in Minerva Mills case. The statement is directly asked. Okay, in the exam. So Mundaka, the Indian constitution is found
of the balance between DPSP and fundamental rights. Okay, जो देखिए DPSP and preamble, fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Okay, then the answer will be fundamental rights and DPSP. Okay, so
next feature is fundamental duties. याकू हमें डिटेल में पढ़िया fundamental duties हमर article 51. Okay, just मन रखो कि fundamental duty
constitution रे नथिला. Okay,
our original constitution is not thila. Okay, the original constitution did not provide the fundamental duties. Okay, this provision was added in 42nd Amendment Act of 1976, which was recommended by Swaran Singh Committee, Sardar Swaran Singh Committee. Okay, it contains some of the कि originally नथिला constitution रे केबे आसिला 42nd amendment रे आसिला कार recommendation Swaran Singh Committee recommendation से आसी हला को पार्ट रची part 4A article 51A. Okay, 11 टा fundamental duty भी अच्छी एती जिंस हमको मन रखिया अछि बस. Okay, कौन अछि
हमें तो चैप्टर पढ़िया देखिया आस्ते. ओके,
हमें तो चैप्टर पढ़िया देखिया आस्ते.
एटा भी नॉन जस्टिसिएबल.
Okay, in से मन रखो जे DPSP sorry direct like DPSP duties are also non justiciable. Okay, if somebody is not doing this fundamental duty, for example, good duty अछि कि you have to protect the unity integrity of the nation. If somebody is not doing it, you cannot go and file a case in Supreme Court
not following the fundamental duty. Okay,
this follows not following the fundamental duty. Okay, तमे करि परिबो नाही, that is why it is non justiciable. Then the next feature is secular state. The Constitution of India stands for a secular state. What is secular? The meaning टा बुझे important. एटा next chapter भी अछि तमरो preamble रे. Okay, के बे जानो जे secular जो term टा एटा भी नथिला original constitution रे. Okay, preamble रे add h केबे 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. A what नथिला, but that doesn't mean our constitution was
okay. Immediate पचारे statement कि our constitution
was not secular before 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. That will be wrong. Okay, the word was not mentioned in the preamble. The word ta mention hala preamble le 1976 जो 42nd Amendment Act रे. But before that also there are so many provisions in our constitution like हमारा fundamental rights जो अछि article 25 to 28. Okay, right to equality, right to freedom, all those are secular features. Okay, तो तुमको इनकी मीनिंग बुझेर अछि जे सेक्युलर वर्ड आसिला सिना amendment रे. Before that also our constitution was secular. Okay,
वर्ड के बैड हला 1976 रे. ओके, ये सब आर्टिकल ले देखो all these articles were including the secular features, article 14, 15, 16, 25. Okay, that means what our constitution was secular before 1976 also. Okay, in some देखियो. Then डी टाइप रो हमरो सेक्युलरिज्म ए डिफरेंस टा भी जानो कि
सेक्युलरिज्म ए डिफरेंस टा भी जानो कि इंडिया रे को टाइप रो सेक्युलरिज्म हम
कोन complete separation between the religion
and the state. Okay, and also got a church or state, which is negative concept of secularism. Indian secularism what we practice is positive concept of secularism. Okay, that what is that? Give equal respect to all the religions or protecting all religions equally.
Religion and state is completely not separate. Okay, our constitution
of
state protect all the religions equally equal
and
respect to all the religions. Okay, that is why we are called as positive concept of secularism. But west re kono
called as positive concept of secularism, but west re kono they are completely separated. Their religion
cannot interfere in religious
state is completely separate.
इंटरफेयर କରୁଛନ୍ତି
Okay, ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି for example ଆମେ ଏବେ ଯୋଉ triple talaq ban କଲେ ହେଲା, that means what? State interfere କଲା
पर्सनल लॉ रे ना नहीं
personal law ରେ
हिंदू
ନା ନାଇଁ
मैरिज एक्ट
ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଅଛି ହିନ୍ଦୁ ମ୍ୟାରେଜ ଆକ୍ଟ, okay,
that is what state
has made this act for Hindu religion ର ଯୋଉ ମ୍ୟାରେଜ ଅଛି ତା ପାଇଁ state act ବନେଇଛି, that means what? State has interfered in our religious activity.
so that
Okay, so that ଏମିତି example through ରେ ମନେ ରଖ ଯେ ଆମେ positive secularism practice କରୁଛୁ. Then next ହଉଛି କଣ? Universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise ମାନେ କଣ? Universal ମାନେ କଣ? Everyone is included. Universal adult ମାନେ କଣ? Only adults are included, not children. That's why
all the adults without any discrimination.
franchise means where you can exercise your voting right.
Okay, तो देखो कौन लिखा है
Okay, तो देखो कौन लिखा है. See, lot of meaning you can draw from this word itself. Okay, universal adult franchise कौन? Okay, is a basis of election to the Lok Sabha or the state legislative assembly. Okay, every citizen who is not less than 18 years of age, 18 years of age तुम यदि पार कर लो तुम है adult. Okay, has the right to vote. Every citizen लिखा है. Every citizen who is not less than the 18 years of age means universal adult has the right to vote without any discrimination of caste, race, religion, sex, literacy, wealth and so on. Okay, if you are more than 18 years of age without any discrimination you can cast your vote. Okay, and outright voting age was reduced to 18 from 20. एटा भी मन रखो, voting age ता हमरो 21 थिला ताको 18 गुणा h केबे 1989 रे by 61 constitutional amendment act. Okay, this also you have to remember. So universal
जदि मीनिंग पचारिछि there will be four options. You should know what is the meaning of franchise. One condition is you should be above 18 years of age. Okay, and above 18
years of age. Okay, and above 18 years of age there must not be any discrimination based on caste, religion, literacy, sex, etc. Okay, that is called as universal adult franchise. एतक एज ता केबे कम आइछि 21 ରୁ 18 को 1989 61st constitutional amendment act. Okay, बाकी कोन पे कराइछि लिखाइछि दिस यू कैन आल्सो रीड. Okay, कि तमे जोड़ की प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इक्वालिटी प्रैक्टिस करि परिबो. ओके, अदरवाइज कोन इनइक्वालिटी हो ना हम जदि किछि लोक बाहर दे परिबेनी.
ओके, एंड इट एनेबल्स
द वोट दे परिबेनी. ओके, एंड इट एनेबल्स द माइनॉरिटीज टू प्रोटेक्ट देयर राइट्स. ओके, और इंटरेस्टेड. सो इति पे हमर यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज रखा है. देन सिंगल सिटीजनशिप यू नो इतरे बेसी आनियार नै कि हमर गोटे सिटीजनशिप अछि इंडियन सिटीजनशिप. ओके, बट अमेरिका रे कोन की सेंटर पे गोटे सिटीजन एंड जो स्टेट से बिलोंग करथिबे ता पे आउट सिटीजनशिप. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ somebody belongs to Arizona he will have a citizenship of Arizona. Somebody belongs to California he will have a citizenship of California, as well as they will have a citizenship of America, United States. Okay, but amar semti nahi Odisha पे गोटे सिटीजनशिप, बंगाल पे गोटे सिटीजनशिप एम तो नहीं हमर केवल गोटे सिटीजनशिप सेटा होछि इंडियन सिटीजनशिप. ओके, so this is one of the feature. Then independent bodies, you know, anu upre podle independent body. Supreme Court was one of the independent body.
Apart from Supreme Court also we have certain independent bodies. Okay, like
Election Commission, like CAG, Controller and Auditor General of India, like our Union Public Service Commission, UPSC, State Public Commission, SPSC. Okay, so we have these independent bodies. This is one.
They are
called of the feature. Okay, they are called as the bulwark of democratic system of the government. Bulwark means what?
Protectors of our
okay, they are the protectors of our democracy. Okay,
how
अबे जदि हमरो for example UPSC का example लगा.
How this protects our democracy?
Because they ensure fair and what just selection of meritorious candidates to public service. Yes or no? No, no. जदि हम किसी छोटे independent body बने न थांते, then there will be lot of mischiefs, lot of malpractice. All these things will happen. Okay, and that will weaken our democracy.
So this independent body where they can make their own decisions, केमिति exam conduct करा
କେମିତି एग्जाम कंडक्ट କରାଯିବ କଣ କ୍ୱାଲିଟି
UPSC every year they are enhancing the quality.
okay
That
that
means
means
what? They are ensuring better and better candidates.
sure they are ensuring better and better candidate who can pass the
So that's why they are independent. ଯଦି government ସେଥିରେ interfere କରିବ then
ଯଦି गवर्नमेंट ସେଥିରେ
so we have
made this independent bodies okay similarly CAG okay CAG is an independent body because they have to see all the accounts I mean jaha bhi saving କରୁଛନ୍ତି ମାନେ expenditure କରୁଛନ୍ତି jaha bhi collect କରୁଛନ୍ତି whether
is going properly or not. ଯଦି ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଗୋଟେ independent
it is going properly or not ଯଦି ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଗୋଟେ independent body ନ ରହିବ then government will do whatever they want କୋଉଠୁ ବି କିଛି ବି ପଇସା ଆଣିବେ କୋଉ way ରେ ବି କିଛି ବି income କରିବେ
we have made this independent
so that's why we have made this independent bodies then emergency provision this also will study in detail there is a chapter complete ଗୋଟେ chapter ଅଛି emergency ଉପରେ ସେଟା ଆମେ ପଢିବା okay but ଏଠି ଖାଲି ଏତିକି ଦେଖିଦିଅ କି to enable the president to meet କଣ ପାଇଁ emergency provision ରଖା ହେଇଛି ଯଦି କିଛି ଗୋଟେ extraordinary situation ଆସିଲା ତାକୁ ଆମେ କେମିତି ଡିଲ୍ କରିବା କୋଉ ଜାଗାରେ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ମିଳିଗଲା ତାକୁ ତମେ କେମିତି ଡିଲ୍ କରିବ ଓକେ ତ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମର ଅଣା ହେଇଛି emergency provision okay to safeguard the sovereignty unity integrity security of the country the democratic political system and the constitution okay mostly to meet the extraordinary situation a future ta oda mon rakhibo and to safeguard the sovereignty unity integrity and all these things okay there are three types of emergencies you know national emergency article 352 state emergency jaha kohuna presidential rule article 356 and 365 and financial emergency article 360 okay then three tier government you know amar thila center state और local जोटा कि local हम के आनिछंती 73rd and 74th amendment रे हला 1992 एयोडा सब हम डिटेलली पढिबा एठी खाली जानो जे एटा को पार्ट रछि सब टिके टिके मन रखता पार्ट IX एंड पार्ट 11 होछ तमरो पंचायत पार्ट IXA एंड शेड्यूल 12 होछ तमरो म्युनिसिपैलिटी ओके then cooperative society एटा भी तुम जानिछो एटा ऐड हला गोटे फंडामेंटल राइट है कि 97th constitution
so now it is
amendment act 2011 so now it is a part of fundamental right also it is a part of
and it is a part of
PSP also okay and it is a part of this part IXB no part add कराई छि जोटा कि तमरो 243 रे जो अछि हमरो
एटा को ऐड कराई छि okay so it is a part बडा मन रखो कि cooperative society is included in fundamental right also DPSP also and
it also DPSP also and हमरो part IXB रे also हैला sorry then these are not required criticism वगैरह किसी दरकार नहीं तो टोटल हम केतरा फीचर पढ़ले टोटल 17 टा फीचर पढ़ले ओके जोड़ जोड़ी में अंडरलाइन करथली मार्क करथली just read only those things okay बाकी सब बुझिया पे थोड़ा पढ़ी पारा but when you revise only those things